meditation we give, and all good meditations really, are like tuning an instrument, the instrument of our heart, mind, and body. And our aim in this practice is, of course, we're doing a meditation. We start the meditation as a personality, but our real aim, that's not it. The real aim is to allow that inner self of ours to meditate through us. So we meditate as the inner self. And this analogy about music, we'd say the inner self is the musician. Our heart and mind and body are the instruments. And no matter how great a musician may be, if those instruments aren't in tune, he can't do anything. He can't play them. And so too with our life. If we're not in tune, the voice of the inner self, the vibration of the inner self can't come through us. This is one reason why we're doing these meditations, to attune our instrument. Now, it's said that solid wood can't become a flute and make beautiful music. That's absolutely true, because it has to be hollow for the wind to blow through it to make a sound. And this is a good analogy for our meditation. So when we're sitting down today for meditation, try to, and we said, empty your heart and mind. You try to become an empty vessel so that the wind of spirit can blow through you and create the meditation for you. And then as you walk through your life during the day, try to keep that openness and let the wind of your spirit express itself. So the breathing practice, the visualizations of the colors in these three centers are tuning our instrument. But just because we tell you this, we're not expecting you to become perfect overnight. It's like if you would give a violin and sheet music to somebody and say play, no one's going to expect him to play like the greatest musician on earth the first time. It takes practice, practice, practice. And so too with our meditation. We have to practice it until we get really, really skillful. Now we've tied this meditation to the three centers, which are tied to our three bodies, which are associated with the three worlds of existence which we travel through. But let's make another analogy. Think about these three worlds of existence like octaves of music. In music, you have different octaves. You play the same notes at just higher vibrations, higher pitches that you play them. So too, we live our life on earth in a certain level. And when our material body dies, we pass over to the second world of existence, the psychic world, or astral world. And again, what does it look like? What are we doing there? Well, it looks like this. It's only higher and much more higher vibration. Our body is in a higher vibration, much more refined. The world is much more refined. And there's much more light in it, and much less trouble in it, too. And there we feel more like our inner self. And then there comes the second death, as is mentioned in Revelations. And we pass into the mental world, we call the noetical world. And again, it's the same thing, trees, mountains, rivers, but just much more refined, much more beautiful colors, much more beautiful sounds, much more beautiful smells. Everything is the same, it's just going through higher levels of vibration, just like the octaves on a musical scale. So these three worlds of existence, the Hindus call them lokas, the Buddhists call them bardos, in the West we'd call them heavens. And what are we doing with this meditation but tuning and becoming more skillful in our expression? And this actually does something for us, because you'll notice in your meditation, as you sit there, you actually start to raise your consciousness to higher vibrations. Now these worlds above have 7 different planes. Hindus call them the 7 lokas. And these are different planes. And what you're doing is learning a skill. And of course you'll use it now in your meditation to raise your consciousness higher and higher and feel higher vibrations. But you can also do it during lucid dreaming. You can become more aware and raise your vibrations and experience higher planes of reality during your dream states. You certainly do it during out-of-body experiences. What you're learning here is actually becomes the means for your movement in an out-of-body experience. And of course, after the change called death, when your material body dies, again, this skill goes with you. It doesn't get left behind like some car you bought. It goes with you. So on the other side, you'll have more skill by having learned how to do this here. And your movement in those planes will be much more under your control. So in our practice today, let's be good musicians. And the first thing we're going to do is tune our instruments by balancing these three bodies, using these color vibrations we've given so far. Balance the bodies, attune yourself, become attuned to that inner self, and let it play through you.